It's so dope to be doing tonight, man. Since the
people that I've worked with, artists. Hey,
Hi.
That was last week.
this dude got the beats on the set. Peace, y'all. Welcome back. It's another episode of the Klyph Notes podcast, recording live from EchoVibe Studio in Tigard, Oregon. So dope to be in this space, man. Excited for things to come with EchoVibes, and just excited to be in this creative space to be able to bring y'all this episode. Really have been excited about once we got this scheduled to have this conversation because like no exaggeration, this is a conversation that I've been wanting to have for a number of years. When I look at this this artist, this creative, someone who I've known for a number of years, and his journey is just very interesting and really exciting to see. So just happy to have him here. Glad that in his busy schedule he found time to come and rock with me. None other than the MC, the rapper, the videographer, the YouTuber, the entrepreneur, Maddie. What's good with you, bro?
What's up, man?
Man, I'm really good, man.
Hey, man, thank you for having me.
Come on, bro.
This is a long time coming.
Long time coming for sure. So, I mean, just to go back, you know, when I started doing the Welcome to the Neighborhood radio show years ago at KZME, we started building, and you would come out and not just come through and talk about the latest release, or not just come through and talk about the upcoming show, but you'd always come through very purposefully with gifts, because you would rhyme on air.
Right. That's right.
And you were an artist who came through when you would rhyme. You'd write specifically for that.
That's right.
That interview, and I just want to let you know how much I appreciate the effort and work that you put into doing that, B.
Man, and you know what? That worked for me forever. Like I could use those clips for a long time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
But
you did, yeah.
No, those were good times, man, back then. That was
what's up.
Man, super helpful too. Like you know, back then it was kind of hard to find platforms to talk about what you're doing. You know what I mean? So it was really cool. Yeah, those were good times, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, and to continue to build through the years, because then I had an opportunity to do an event at the Time-Based Art Festival where you came and you rocked the stage. So I had a chance to do something live with you, which was really dope.
Right, that's right.
So when I think about my history with you, I mean, it really goes back. And you know, when I think about it, you were someone who was really an established Portland artist. Like, you were doing things, and I just took advantage of the opportunity to share my platform with you. And so I just want to say how much I appreciate you taking advantage of that platform, man. And it's really dope to look back and reminisce. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. Yeah, and kind of the same to you, man. There's not a lot of, for an artist, it's really hard to find these platforms, and especially, like, you know, if you tell any artist, hey, let's go do an interview on radio.
Right.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, man, you've put in the work as well.
That's what's up, bro.
You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man. So you, you know, you were putting out all of this really good music. You were collaborating with local artists. You were doing shows. When I think about the Portland rap scene, your name was amongst those who were really doing things, who were making music, who were doing shows, who was, you know, who was a part of the scene, really.
Yeah.
And I don't remember really having a conversation with you about it, because a lot of folk would come through the radio show and talk about, man, I'm gonna make a transition one way or another.
Right.
It just felt like you dropped your last album and that was it. Like, Maddie's gone.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, last time was 2016.
It's crazy, bro.
Weird.
It's crazy to me.
Because
It's crazy to me because of, once again, how involved in the music scene you were.
Yeah, man. I mean, 2015, leading up to that, I think I did over 100 shows that year. You know what I mean? Like, that's two or three a week.
Yeah.
I was really out there.
Yeah.
And really what it came down to was, one, I kind of lost inspiration for it after a while. 7 years of it. And after a while, it's kind of the same routine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But also, like, just to be frank, like it wasn't totally paying the bill.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And finding a way to use that creative part of my brain,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I left.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's funny, Maddie, because I think if we look at the Portland, we look at the Portland rap scene. The fact of the truth of the matter is, there are very few individuals, and I think if we look at the history of the Portland rap scene,
Yeah.
there are very few individuals who have been able to utilize the local music scene in rap,
Right.
and have that be sustaining, so that they can, that can be their only thing. Very, very few.
Yeah.
So you took that opportunity to make a transition, and I'm keeping 100 with you, bro.
Yeah.
When it first happened, when I first saw what you were doing in your new venture, I was like, what?
Of course, man.
I mean, this is the dude who I know, who even now, right? Your energy and your persona and your vibe has been always so big and outgoing and
abrasive.
Yeah. And then I want to say, I don't want to overstate it or oversell it, but I want to say that seeing your transition is the thing that kind of introduced me to sort of the next move for you, bro.
Sure.
So for listeners who don't know, forgive me if I'm saying it incorrectly, ASMR.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Like, let folk know what that is.
Yeah, man. So it's really interesting because, so ASMR is a genre of content specifically on YouTube, but it's of course everywhere now.
Yeah.
And it really, really blew up, man. So I came across it in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a long time ago.
Right.
And I think, I have no idea, you know how like you can go down a rabbit hole on YouTube and just, who knows. But I came across this video because I used to do like soundscapes to try to sleep. You know what I mean? Just like and I remember finding a video where it was a girl, she's a good friend of mine now, named Amal, who she's one of the first people making ASMR content. And I was like, what is this?
Right.
And it clicked in my head. I was like, oh, she's trying to do like something relaxing intentionally. You know what I mean? For other people, right? So then kind of got hooked on that and watched it for a few years. And then 2015 rolled around and I was like, you know what? Like, my personality is I'll try anything and see if it works.
Yeah.
Like, I've just always been that kind of person, right?
Yeah.
And I've failed a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But 2015, put up a video because I already had, from doing music, I
Right.
already had a camera. I already had the mics.
Right.
I had lights. So I just tried it. Put it up on YouTube. No idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
Back then, like, YouTube wasn't even a career.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean? It was just a place to index videos and share them with your family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
2015, put a video up. It did, I don't know, 20 views.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was like, all right, well, there's that.
Yeah.
Put another one up. Okay, cool. Third one I put up, went to bed, got up the next morning and woke up. It was about 170,000 views on it. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
And literally from that morning, waking up, I haven't stopped since then.
So is there anything specific about that third video that you feel like was different, that may have resonated with people differently?
Yes and no. So I'll say specifically with YouTube, it's certainly the content that you make is going to help. It's a lot of luck. No one knows how the algorithm works. If they did, they would be the biggest YouTube ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I would say it's a lot of luck plus just it was a better video than the others. But
Gotcha.
Anyway, ASMR, for people that don't know, it's people making videos intentionally to help people relax, chill out, sleep even. Like, it's just like a that's the best way I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I started as a fan for a few years.
Okay.
And then it was just me going, I bet I could do that.
Uh-huh.
And then it's that whole thing of like being prepared when something goes. If you're prepared, it's gonna go.
Yeah.
And yeah, from that morning on, I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. Because I mean, going from 20 views to 170,000 a
Right.
day
Right.
was crazy.
That's enough to make you go, oh.
Yep. And then since then it's just blew up, man.
When you find something like that, especially the way that you talk about the thing that you've been putting so much energy and time into, and maybe feeling a little bit of a disconnect from that same energy, and then all of a sudden this new thing pops. Um, did that in and of itself give you um, sort of a rejuvenation to just your creative process, period?
Definitely. Well, and the coolest thing is, even still to this day, the skills I'm using to do what I'm doing
Mhm.
are skills I learned through music.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
audio engineering,
Yeah.
it's videography,
Yeah.
it's marketing myself,
Yeah.
it's social media.
Yeah.
It's basically the same game, just different content.
That's so dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel really cool because it's really full circle now.
Yeah.
Every job I had before this,
Yeah.
I'm using some sort of skill.
But that's how it's supposed to be, right? I mean, if we're really doing this life thing correctly, we should take advantage of experiences that we've had, good and bad, and learn from them, and then build on those things. And that sounds like that's what you're describing.
Yep, absolutely.
Um, the primary channel that you that you share this content is Maddie Tingles.
Right.
Cool name.
You know what's really funny too is just like let's see, what's a good example? Childish Gambino.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The name
Mhm.
Donald Glover,
Mhm.
he came up with it on a website. It was a Wu-Tang website. Where it was like type your name in and we'll give you a rap name.
Right. Right.
Gave him Childish Gambino. That's
Yeah.
what he went with, right?
Yeah.
This was just a random name I thought of because people say like with ASMR, like getting the tingles
Mhm.
is like when someone like traces your back when you're a kid. That
Yeah.
kind of little feeling.
Yep. Yep.
So I was like, all right, Maddie, my name, and we'll just do that.
Yeah.
Again, when I made that, I didn't think it was gonna be a thing.
Right.
But then once it goes, you can't change your name.
Right. 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 Because that's how people find you.
So yeah, that's it, man.
So with the content that the ASMR content that you make, is there two questions? One, what's the most received or most watched or your biggest video?
Yep. I would say generally sneaker stuff.
Okay.
I have a series on my channel, just a sneaker collection where I'm unboxing and showing off new things. I think
Mhm.
I'm on episode like 60, and there's 3 or 4 in each video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, the biggest thing, and this is advice for anyone out there listening who wants to do not just obviously what I'm doing, but anything.
Mhm.
Once you have enough data, you can literally see what people want.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
especially with YouTube, they give you amazing analytics.
Yeah.
And so I did a few sneaker videos, and they were the ones that went the craziest.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you get into the artist ego part where you're like, well, I don't want to be known just for that one thing. Not realizing that, you know, being known for one thing is way better than not being known.
Exactly.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I've done almost 700 videos on that main channel. And you know, 60 of them are sneakers. So you can see like I've branched out and done a bunch of stuff, but
Right.
sneaker ones are really big. Gaming stuff's really big. You know, my demographic is 18 to 24. So it's what those people are into.
Right.
Which is sneakers, gaming.
Yeah. Yeah. Then of the ASMR videos that you made, which is the one that you love the most?
Yeah, so I did one of the big things in ASMR is like role playing, like as a character, right? So I've done 2 role plays that did really well. They're my favorite. One was I did the kid Russell from Up.
Okay. Okay.
Kind of looked like him anyway.
Okay.
And so I got the whole costume and did a whole Up thing, and that went crazy. And then I did one as Maui from Moana.
Oh, word.
You know what I mean?
I got to tell wifey about that one.
Well, it's kind of funny too because like a lot of my white friends, they can do anything. I'm like, oh, I look like Russell and maybe more. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
I can't go do Robin Hood.
Right.
Man, like,
right.
But yeah, those 2 went really well, and yeah, I'm proud of those. I put a lot of effort into those.
That's what's up, bro.
But
so I was talking to you before we went on, man. Like there's so much there's so much content out there, just period,
Yeah.
that I tend to kind of tap in and out. And I was like, it's like double Dutch, right? So I tap in every once in a while to see the stuff that you're doing. And one of the things that I can remember you doing was um, kind of a day in a life type situation where you'd just be out and about and you'd have your camera and you'd just be like, hey, yo, folk, today I'm like going to the grocery store. I'm going to the whatever. Building that community. I should ask. My assumption was doing that is a way to build a community because people are interested. I mean, the fact of the matter is the simple fact that social media is what it is because people are interested in what other folk are doing.
Yeah, and that was I have a second channel, which is a vlog channel, which is day in the life stuff, right? And really what that was is, one, it's my favorite content to watch.
Yeah.
I have a few vloggers that I watch religiously. They upload every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, people love living through people's lives vicariously. You know what I mean?
I do.
Why? That's a different...
Right.
But that was another thing of me, like, I'll try that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that did pretty well too. So, but the main thing is, it was a real thing of me. After a while, I started to feel like, man, I'm way more than just this ASMR channel.
Yeah.
Again, it's the ego part of it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, let me go make another channel so people can see like me. You know what I mean? Which is why the second channel is called More Maddie Tingles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just staying with the brand, but then more. I love making that content too, man. A lot of it's travel because I love traveling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And, I've done like some brand deals where, like, I did a brand deal 2 summers ago where they paid me to go to Turkey. Right. And I did a video for a hospital there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to Turkey, I'm definitely vlogging the whole thing.
Right.
So then in the contract, I was like, hey, can you also pay for a cameraman? Cameraman. It was just a good friend of mine.
Right.
So travel with.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So I love the vlog. I love the vlog channel as well. It's just, for me, it's just being creative in other ways. But for them, it's seeing multiple sides of me, for the people who are invested. Because I think for content creators, right, like, there's a surface level where you watch someone and you're like, oh yeah, I like them. But then there's a different level where you're like, oh, I'm invested in their lives. I want to see what they're doing and the things they like. And
that's what's up, bro. I mean, I've become a big fan of YouTube over the years, and there's definitely people that I subscribe to. One, because I can appreciate the way that they present their content, but then a lot of the stuff is really interesting in terms of what they do. Travel is one of them. Like I don't travel, but to be able to see places through the eyes of someone else, I think is actually really, really dope.
Yeah.
You mentioned it a bit ago when you were talking about the shoe unboxing. That's something else that I've watched you do, that you shared with some of the brands that you partner with now, is doing some unboxing stuff. And that's it's another thing, like, a lot of us, we don't have unlimited income. So to be able to see you say, hey, here's a situation, this is this product, this is what I think about it, this, that, and the third. How did that come about?
Yeah, so this is where it gets fun.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for YouTube, just content, right? You get paid from Google. Google owns YouTube. You get paid from Google. So like, it's funny, like, my grandma's 101.
Congrats to Grams.
Yeah, man, it's insane.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know what YouTube is, but she knows what Google is.
Yeah.
Right. So I just tell her I work for Google.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, great. You know what I mean? Anyway, so just from the views on YouTube, right, you get paid from Google, right? But where it gets really fun is once you garner an audience and get to a certain place with views, then brands want to start working with you. That's where it gets really fun because, and when you start out, they might be like, hey, we'll send you some free stuff.
Yeah.
And even then you're like, amazing.
Right. Yes.
But then it gets to the point where you're like, know your worth. You know what I mean? And your product's going to get a lot of eyes. It's like you watch an NBA post-game interview. They always have a Gatorade perfectly tilted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Product placement.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it started out. I've had a couple different managers over the last 8 years,
Uh-huh.
but basically, right now I work with a company called Dosito, who's in Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a big company that just does influencer marketing brand deals. So
Yeah.
they're doing outreach for me.
Mm-hmm.
They're also, I get a bunch of emails every day. 99% of them are like, no.
Yeah.
But so then they're doing the contracts and everything, and they just send me a copy. I'm reading it,
You're the talent.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the fun part, man. I've been really lucky to work with, I work with Reese's, the
Mm-hmm.
candy, which was
It's a problem.
man,
It's a
it's
problem.
a problem. No, it's crazy, man. They flew me to Toronto. We shot a movie. Like I'm on IMDb for it. Like an
That's
actual
dope.
2.5 hour movie
That's
with Reese's.
dope. Yeah.
And we were like, hold on, Reese's wants to do a movie? Like,
Mm-hmm.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
But they did a full it was like a $2.5 million budget movie that we did in Toronto with Reese's. And we're like, what is crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And literally the whole movie was about how do you eat a Reese's? Because like everyone, that's kind of been their marketing of like how everyone eats it different, right?
Right.
But yeah, I work with a lot of brands, man.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is it's got to align with you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really, really easy, and a lot of people fall for this. It's really, really easy to take the bag and go, I don't even know what this is. I don't care.
Right.
And you lose authenticity by doing that. If like people aren't dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like people can tell immediately when you're not.
If you really rock with something, yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And so that's a big part of it too, is kind of filtering through the trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you will. But
yeah. Yeah.
no, that's the fun part, man. Because then you get to start negotiating, and that's where it gets crazy.
That's what's up, man. Like I said, I've gotten to the place where I watch a ton of YouTube videos. Like wifey and I will sit down, and I probably watch more YouTube than I watch anything.
Yeah, man. It's the new TV, man.
It absolutely is, man. You know what I mean? And a part of it too, I think, is we do live in a culture now where we want everything in little bites.
Of course.
So you can jump on YouTube, and like I don't subscribe to any of the sports networks, but I watch highlights.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
The wifey's on me like, man, you create content, like you got to get on YouTube and start getting some of this YouTube money. So
you're exactly right, though. Even like, I'm a huge basketball fan, and I'll watch for like the team I love.
Yeah.
I'll watch the games. Everything else, you can go on YouTube and watch someone makes an edit 5 minutes after the game's done. It's 7 minutes long, and it's the whole game.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
It's the new TV, man. It really is.
It's so, I do appreciate the fact that it exists and people have an opportunity to utilize their creative gifts to do these things.
Yeah.
And you are definitely an example of that. So you have built a significant audience on YouTube over 8 years.
8 years.
And I think it's so cool to see where you are now, because last year, and I know that there was a video, and I purposely didn't watch it. I know that there was a video that you shared with your audience telling them that, like, you know me for this, but this is my history.
Right.
I was a rapper before I started doing YouTube videos. And then last year you released a video of it was your first joint.
Yeah.
And I went through it and was just reading through the comments, and it was so dope to see.
Oh, man.
All these people who knew you for what you do.
Yeah, man.
And was like, wait, what? Maddie Tingles got bars?
Man, no, and the funny thing about that is it's hilarious because it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
It's going from like soft spoken trying to help you sleep.
Right.
To I'm really aggressive.
Yeah.
And abrasive and loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not only is it a different genre and completely different form of media.
Yeah.
But it's also like, like when I meet people in real life, most of them will be like, I've never heard your voice before. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So no, that's been a really fun part of doing music again, is just people being like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is kind of hard for me. I've been struggling with that too, because again, it's ego. Right? In my head, I'm like, you didn't know?
Yeah.
But of course they didn't.
Right. Right. What was their access point to you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, even like we might get into it later, but I put the first single out for the album a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And there's thousands of comments that are like, I had no idea. And that's great. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, should have. You should have known. But no, of course they didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, let's start talking about it, bro. The new project is going to drop. I'm not sure when this is going to drop, but the new project drops July the 12th.
Yep.
And it is Not Supposed to Be Here.
Yep.
Is the name of the project. The single that you're referring to is I'm Him.
Yep.
It's interesting because a couple of observations from me listening to this project. One, that sort of mindset that you have of like really you didn't know,
Right.
it so comes across on this
100%.
project. It's
100%.
like
Yeah.
so comes across this project, and it's even though you weren't making music, what I hear when I listen through the project is you never stopped writing.
Oh no, never. Yeah.
Like you never that part of your creative process never stopped.
For sure. Yep.
Was it at any point during that 8-year period, obviously you were invested in what you were doing and what you are doing as a creative on YouTube and in those spaces, but were you thinking like, nah, that I'm definitely going to release more music?
If I'm being honest, no.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be honest, that last album, which was called Immortal,
Yeah.
it was by far my most successful album.
Yeah.
It's the best work I've ever done until this new one.
Yeah.
Honestly, even the last 30 seconds of the album, I pretty much say this is probably it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt really good about that bookmark. I was
Mhm.
like, great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think when you're passionate about something and you put so much time and effort and skill into it,
Mhm.
I don't think you can ever forget about it. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I was always thinking about doing it, right?
Yeah.
But my whole thing with this album is doing it for the right reason at the right time.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's it, right?
Mhm.
I could have done this at any time,
Yeah.
right? I think not just analytics wise, but
Mhm.
just in my life,
Mhm.
this is the right time to do. You know what I mean? There's a lot of reasons why I'm putting it out now,
Mhm.
and largely it's I kind of work backwards, right? I went and got a following
Right.
before putting the album out,
Right. Right.
and you know what I mean. But it's just creatively, I think I needed it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I missed it a lot, man. I stayed up with everyone in the town and everywhere else
Mhm.
what they were doing.
Mhm.
And yeah, man, I think there was always a part of me that was like, maybe someday,
Yeah.
but I didn't need it.
Yeah. So let me ask you about that, Maddie, because that's one of the things that I wonder about. You're in a place now where this is my perception, right? This is my perspective. This is looking at it through my lens.
Yeah.
Up through Immortal, you were making music because you were working towards having that artistic vehicle be your means of living.
Of course, yeah.
You're releasing, or on July 12th, when this project is dropping, Not Supposed to Be Here, you're making this music and you don't need this record to
Right.
blow
Right.
for you to live.
100%.
So with that change in perspective, does it change the creative process? Does it change what you write, how you write? Does it change how you promote the project? Does it change those
Absolutely.
things?
Yes, completely. Yeah, because I promised myself with this album mentally
Mm-hmm.
that like I have no attachment to the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get this out.
Mm-hmm.
If it does well, great. If
Mhm.
it doesn't, it's at least out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever done an album like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, it changes your rollout. It changes the things you say on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It changes it changes everything.
Yeah.
Being in a comfortable spot where it's not, if this doesn't do well, I'm in trouble,
Yeah.
to if this doesn't do well, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, of course I wanted to do well.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
But it's a completely different. This rollout has been eye opening, man.
Yeah.
It's one, I'm just in a completely different space, and then two, so is the landscape of how
Yes.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it is completely different.
The thing that
Absolutely.
the thing that I love about this is that, so two things I take away from that. One, to me, y- one of the, I look at you as being a rapper.
Mhm.
Like that is a part of
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
And when I think about the fact that, yes, with everything else that you're doing, you still came back to record this because this is a part of who you like. I think, sir, I think in my opinion, there are individuals who make music, specifically rap music, and I'm sure you can apply this to any genre of music, because my goal is to make this music because I want to be what I see.
Right.
And then there are individuals who make this music because they love making this music, because it is, and that's, to me, that's who I see in you as you release this project. And again, I think it comes across in a lot of the work that is on this project.
Yeah, and you just said something that's really funny, which I'm really glad about, which is the whole like you can hear in the music that my angle was, you should have known. How did you not know? I've been doing this. I've been that guy. Right. I've never thought about that until now. And it's totally a theme. You know what I mean? But the interesting thing is that's a great, I didn't even mean to take that angle.
Yeah.
But it's a great angle because this is technically my 9th album.
Right.
But really, this is my first album.
Well, how so?
What I mean by that is, this is the first album that millions of people are going to hear from me.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah,
like, yes, there's a back catalog they could have listened to before, but this is the first one that I've released that they've seen the whole process and everything. So I'm kind of treating this as a first album. So that's really interesting, the whole angle that I didn't even mean to do.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you heard that, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of the route I wanted to take anyway.
Yeah. And the dope thing is that you have a back catalog, right? So what's going to be interesting now is, let's go look at the streaming numbers for Immortal. You know what I'm saying? Let's go look at this, because people are going to want to, because now when people say, oh, yo, I didn't realize that Maddie had, and you're saying, and after listening to the album, they're going, no, there's,
right.
They have reason to go back and listen to some really great, like really, really great music.
Yeah. Man, I've been going back and forth with, like, you know, I think on Spotify or wherever you get music, I think there's 5 albums up.
Yeah.
And man, a couple of them are so bad. You know what I mean? And the thing is that it comes down to being secure with yourself, right? Like, I know a lot of people that have taken their old stuff down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. I've thought about it. But for me, the bigger picture is, I hope people can go, okay, 2007, not great. Look at the progression, though.
Exactly.
Look how crazy he is now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, there's going to be a small majority of people that hear that and they're like, oh, this is terrible. I'm good. But the majority of people, I hope, look at that and can see the progression of, because I think what's really interesting is, like, okay, if you ask people about Jay-Z, right? One of the GOATs for me, they'll be like, man, Reasonable Doubt. That's his first one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think he has a few that are as good as Reasonable Doubt, right?
Yeah.
I think I did the opposite. Mine got better. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one that says my first one is the best.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Where I can look back and go, man, the progression is crazy.
Yeah.
And even from Immortal, like, I think Immortal was really, really good. I'm so proud of that project.
Yeah.
But I think content wise and just structure wise, this album is the best I've ever done.
That's what's up, bro. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of joints in here, man. So we talked about I'm Him. The video for I'm Him is out.
Shout out to Riley Brown.
Riley is the dude. People who subscribe to this podcast, if you just are subscribing to the Klyph Notes podcast, go back and listen to the Riley Brown interview. Such a solid cat and amazingly talented. How did y'all link?
You know what's crazy? This is just, again, me being tuned in.
Yeah.
Just watching Win chorus,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So like for me, I'm the kind of person like with YouTube, with everything, I look and go, who's doing this really well,
Right.
right? And then I go, obviously we're not going to steal everything they do, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to go, all right, so they took this step, they did this, they're on this site, they're right.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing Win, and I'm like, whoa,
Yep.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
And by the way, I remember when way back, I think at that McMinimans, doing the team backpack.
Yes.
I was there that night.
Yep.
And I remember you walked up, and I was like, okay, let's see what this is. Embodied the whole thing.
Killed it.
He went crazy.
Killed
right?
it. Yep.
So then I was like, okay, cool. And then since then, she's just completely, I mean, she's out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Steady progression.
She's out of here.
Yeah.
And but so then me though, I'm like, these videos are dope. Who did this? Then you look in the description and you go, oh, okay, this dude named Riley Brown. Okay, cool. Shot him an email out of the blue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you probably don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Right. But blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Let's and he got back to me. He's like, yeah, let's do something. I sent him the song. And so it's really just out of respect for the stuff that he's been able to do, specifically with Win and Dame. He does Dame stuff.
Yep.
So he's dope though, man. I had a really good time shooting that, and the video turned out crazy.
Yes.
He sent me the whole concept was him.
Yeah. Riley's he's an amazingly talented person, and it's dope that he's a part of this return to the scene for you, man.
Yeah, man.
Really, really dope.
Yeah.
I'm saying this right now. I'm hoping that Zeb watches this episode, because Zeb, I'm gonna ask of you if you would be so kind, sir, to make a radio edit for Feeu. I need that, please.
I have it.
Do you?
He sent me. I have.
Okay, I'm gonna need that, bro. I love the concept of the song.
Yeah, man.
Let folk know what's up with Feeu, bro.
So, all right. So you know what? This was actually part of why I made the album.
Okay.
Which was when you're a rapper. All of my albums, I've always had features, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of it was a marketing thing. Like, I love, like, Ilmac's my guy. He's been on almost every one of my albums, right?
Yep.
Tope's been on it. Luck, all those people, right? All good people, all people I've rocked with for a long time. But also, it's man, if I have this person on, some of their fans are going to listen, and it's, it's a whole thing, right?
Yeah.
This one, I was like, okay, budget's a little higher now. Budget's a little higher now.
Yeah.
I was like, man, who's like a dream collab, right? In the budget, of course.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Crook, for those, Crooked Eye, he used to go by Crooked Eye, he goes by King Crooked now. Shady Records, Slaughterhouse, in my opinion, one of the best rappers on earth.
Yeah.
He is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just shot him, and I'm like, just went into the descriptions of stuff, found his booking email, and I was like, hey man, what's it looking like for a verse, right?
Yeah.
And I won't say what it was, but it was doable.
Yeah.
It was doable. I mean, by far the most I've ever spent for a verse, of course.
Yeah.
But doable.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Like, you can probably tell from the style, like Slaughterhouse was huge for me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like those four people are four of my favorite rappers ever.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So once I had that locked down, he's like, send me the song, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, I should make an album.
Got you.
So Feeu, I won't cuss on here, but Feeu started, I'm a big Duck fan. And so Feeu started last year with Dan Lanning. He had this whole thing about Feeu, and it means F everybody but us, right? And it's kind of just like it's us versus everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I love as a team mindset.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, man, I just love that moniker. I love that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I came up with that hook first thing in my head. I was like, okay, do a little thing. And then, but then I was like, all right, then now we send this to Dan Lanning.
Yeah.
Now this gets played often because it's already a thing that they've been using. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done, though, because with, and this isn't any shade to anybody, but like the people I've worked with before, I definitely keeping up with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think I'm at least as good, Man, this one I was like, you know what? I just got to do my best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know he's gonna smoke me on this. But the thing is that it's not a competition.
No.
Just making the best song you can.
Yeah.
But it's a competition too. Like,
Yeah.
there's no rapper ever has done a collab and
Yeah.
didn't try to kill the other person.
Yeah. I mean, how many stories do we know of artists who went back and redid their verse?
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So did my verse, did the hook, sent it off. He sent it back in 24 hours probably.
Oh my God.
He's a beast. He's a beast.
Gosh.
And by the way, super nice dude.
Oh, word.
First email, he's like, "Hey man, here's my number. Give me a call." Called him. He's like, "Man, whatever you need to do, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this." Like,
Yeah.
super nice dude.
Yeah.
If we can make it happen, we might do a video this summer. We'll see.
Oh, that'd be dope. That would be dope.
Go down there and see. But yeah, F everybody but us. It's I had to double time on it because the beat is slow.
Yeah.
It's like fast, but it's slow.
Yeah.
It's one of those where it's like 140 beats per minute or 80. You know what I mean?
Right.
Double time on it, which like that's not really my comfort zone, but I think I did pretty well on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think my verse is really crazy on it. But then Crook sent it back, and I remember hearing it, and I remember thinking like, man, this is like you can hear a professional on it. What I mean by that is like this is someone who is so locked in on the craft of it. You can just hear it in his verse. The pronunciation, the breathing, the everything is just like you can hear, oh, this is a professional who's done this for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's by far the biggest feature I've ever had. And it's just it's pretty wild, man. Like I remember, 2012 listening to Slaughterhouse being like, man, these are this is it.
Yeah.
And then to be able to say I've worked with Crook, man, is crazy.
It's so dope, bro. His verse on there, he definitely killed it.
Yeah.
A couple of other joints that I really dug. To me, and this is this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
To me, in terms of delivery, in terms of the writing, in terms of just like to me, your best verses on this are from the joint You Mad, Huh?
Oh,
that's the one. I feel like You Mad, Huh? I feel like you're definitely in your pocket.
Yeah.
I think the beat that you picked to rap over is dope because that's one that will definitely get played at parties and at events.
That's so funny you say that, man. So the story behind that is that's the last song I did for the album.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking 24 hours before Zeb was going to master.
Oh, word.
I'm listening to the album back and I go, man, I think I'm missing one up-tempo, let me just talk about nothing in it. You know what I mean? Just no substance, just bar out and go crazy over a beat that could be played in public.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had that beat in the back pocket for a while and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm missing one. Let me talk my talk. Put that together, sent it off, and honestly, it almost got cut. It was almost the one where I was like, it doesn't need to be on here, but it's cool that it is.
Yep.
So that's so cool that you like that one. There's some stuff in that song that I was even surprised when it. Sometimes, like you said, you just get in your pocket as a writer.
Yeah.
And you just go, and man, there's some stuff in that song where some of the bars I was like, man, I think I reached a different plateau.
But you've always been nice with the punchlines throughout the entire project, bro. I was listening with wifey in the car, and I forget which one that she was like, oh, that one was dope, and then the one that I had to go back and rewind, and I was like, what's your girl, the Swifties, and not knowing what's going on.
They don't know what they're seeing, like Swifties watching.
Yes, I was like, there's Maddie. That's definitely Maddie, bro.
No, I love it. And again, it's the people that I grew up listening to.
Yeah.
The Jays, the M's, the Nas's, even the newer, the Big Sean's, whatever. all of those people are lyricists,
Yes. Yes.
and that's what I hang my hat on, right?
Yeah.
In fact, it's hard to make a song
Mm-hmm.
when you're a lyricist.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to just rap for 4 minutes.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
So the hardest part, I would say, for most rappers is hooks.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I gotta like not rap for a minute.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But the punchlines I've always loved, because my favorite thing in a rap song
Mhm.
is when I listen to it and I go, wait, rewind it.
Yes, exactly.
Go, oh,
Exactly. Yep.
There's
Yep.
a lot of that on the song.
There is. What's the one?
A lot of.
David Blaine card.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites, man. Yeah, that's basically it says talking crazy, we can find out what that mess is about. David Blaine card trick, you get the deck in your mouth. So it's like deck getting punched, but also card.
All the double entendres are just so dope.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
that's my favorite, man. There's one on the Umada that I'm really proud of, which is I don't even remember what it is now, but basically it ends with you're gonna see him. Man, I can't call it right, but it's like I'll steal the mic that they're using. You ain't seeing me, and chuck it to the right, like it's halftime on TNT. Like I'll steal the mic and throw it to the right. And also Chuck Charles Barkley is on the right side on
TNT. Yes,
stuff like that. I love.
Yeah, and again, that is throughout the album. Now, as much as I love You Mad, what you do on Dear Me, bruh.
Yeah, man.
You share the challenges that you've experienced over the last several years in terms of loss.
Yeah.
To have a platform to sort of talk about that and really share perspective. And I often think sometimes that can have an impact on people who also may be in those situations, man.
Absolutely.
What was that process like for you?
Yeah, so Dear Me, so that's my favorite kind of music, right? It's the introspective, the introspective stuff is my favorite. Like I love the like talking about how cool you are and how good you are. That's all cool. But the introspective real life stuff is where I live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Dear Me came along where, again, I'm listening to the album and I'm like, I haven't talked about anything yet. You know what I mean? So substance, right? And yeah, you know, the last what year are we in? 2024. Last 5-6 years have been a lot of loss, man. You know what I mean? My dad passed in 2019 to cancer, and then two of my best friends passed within a month of each other in 2022.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of loss, and with loss comes grief and all of that. And I think any artist would tell you one of the best ways to get that off your shoulders is to create something with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also, like you said, like I've had people, especially with the YouTube stuff, they'll say like, "Hey, I'm going through a really hard time. Your video got me through this," or "Hey, I was about to do something really bad myself. This helped." That's kind of the goal with. There's 2 songs on this album, 3 songs on this album. One is The Sit in Silence. That's for those 2 friends.
Yeah.
And then Dear Me is kind of my perspective of loss and grief.
Yeah.
And then I think the best song on the album is the one with Diz.
Yeah.
Called All on Me.
Yeah.
That's and that one's kind of a mental health, grief, therapy session.
Yeah.
If you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's where I live, though. That's the music I listen to. I love introspective rap.
That's so dope, man.
Yeah, man.
The project title, Not Supposed to Be Here.
Yes.
Why that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that, man. This is so I think throughout the years, that's been my hardest thing. The hardest thing of being an artist is naming the album.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like, unless you have a concept, there's so much pressure on it because you're like, this is what it's going to be forever. You can't just change the name out of an album.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's a few reasons I called it this, right? And again, double entendre kind of, I love things that mean multiple things.
Yeah.
On the surface level, it's not supposed to be here, meaning all of my 99.9% of my fans don't know me as this person.
Right. Right.
I'm literally not supposed to be here doing this rap.
Right.
Not supposed to be here. So they'll see that as not supposed to be here just because it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Right. Second reason I did that is, I was adopted at 6 weeks old from Seoul, South Korea. My mom was 15 when she had me. She worked in a factory. Like I would have had a pretty bad life.
Yeah.
Statistically.
Yeah.
There, right?
Yeah.
The fact that happened to the family I went to my life now is not supposed to happen. Like that's really rare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the second part. Not supposed to be here. Like I'm not supposed to be in, Portland, Oregon doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the third one is kind of a more mental health thing of like, I've went through a lot of tough stuff in the last 5-6 years. And there were times where I wasn't sure how long I'd be here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's another like not supposed to be here, man.
Yeah.
Like it's a good thing that I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So multiple meanings,
Yep.
Some deeper than others.
Yep.
I think most people will just get the service level one.
Yep.
But I love a title that's if you know kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up, man.
You know what I mean?
Well, listen, bro, I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? I'm glad that you're here with me. I'm glad we finally had an opportunity to sit and chop it up like
well, we were
this.
just saying this. I haven't been on Klyph Notes yet. This is the first time we've done tons of radio stuff.
Yep.
But I'm happy to be here, man. I'm glad you're still doing it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Like I said, I have an opportunity to sort of look back and the things that have been a part of my journey and the people who I've had a chance to share that with. And you are definitely someone who fits into that category. And because of people like yourselves, artists like yourselves, they prompted me and promoted me and supported the reason for me to keep doing this. So thank you, brother. I really, really appreciate it, man.
Of course, man. I'm anytime you need anything, man, I'm here.
That's love, baby.
You've been not just with me, man, but you support. You're everywhere, man. You do shows. You put people on. You do everything that you do is in love and support of the art.
Word up, bro. That's what it's about.
That's all we can ask, man.
No doubt.
Thank you, man.
No doubt. Not supposed to be here. Drops July the 12th of 2024. Where can people get it?
Everywhere. Everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, iHeart, whatever you want to use. It's on YouTube. July 12th. Hilarious. I just saw yesterday that Eminem moved his album to July 12th. I was like,
of course he did.
That's cute.
Of course it did.
Cute, Marshall.
That's okay. That's okay. That's fine.
July 12th, everywhere at midnight.
That's what's up. So if people who are listeners of Klyph Notes who maybe aren't familiar, one more time, man, let them know how to tap in with you, how to find you.
Yeah, man. At Maddie Tingles everywhere. MattyTingles. That's on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere.
That's what's up, man. I'm looking at my notes. I told Maddie I'm getting to a place now. I never wrote notes for the Klyph Notes podcast. I'm getting to a place now where, man, we touched on a bunch of stuff, man. There are definitely some things that we didn't get to, so we definitely gonna have to run this back and do it again, man.
Anytime.
That's what's up, bro. I appreciate you, Doc.
Anytime,
for real.
Yep.
Once again, man, the Klyph Notes podcast is available everywhere you listen to your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or you can check it out at klyphnotes.com. Shout out to EchoVibe Studios, man. If you're looking for a dope place to come through and create content, capture content, or just come through and vibe, check them out, man. EchoVibe Studios in Tigard, Oregon.
And if you're listening to this on Spotify, stop playing around. Just follow on Spotify. That's a big one.
There you go.
Follow on Spotify. If you hit that follow button under the name of the show, you'll get notified whenever he uploads.
Say that.
Hit that button, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man.
On.
See, I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get the Maddie content. He gonna help me get my numbers up. You know what I mean? Big ups to Pac West Group. Big ups to Acapella Apparel. And last but never ever least, big ups to the homie Theory Has It for creating the official theme song for the Klyph Notes podcast.
There's a beast.
He's a beast, man. For real.
I saw some stuff he was doing on social media.
Yep.
Every beat's crazy. I heard one though. I almost pulled my car over. I'm serious. He is
Theories that do.
Yeah, man. That's
Theories that do, man.
guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Until we have an opportunity to do this again, y'all be blessed. Peace.